Hey, now we are back in the building, baby. In the prime effect.
Yo.
No?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
okay. I'm about
We
to say,
back,
I
baby.
know we back. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all ain't used to hearing this, but we are back and we are here together with my fellas. Go say what's up, fellas.
What up, fellas?
What's going on, everybody? I'm bringing the energy. I'm bringing the energy again. I'm brought my energy right back to this show.
Man, that was
Yes,
horrible.
internal energy, baby.
Yo,
Internal energy,
I'm going to
baby.
take it back from Fred, Roscoe. I'm excited to be here. Fourth in the game. We in the building. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe. We are coming hardcore for the rest of the football season and beyond. Baby.
All day, baby. This is what we do. This is what we came for, and this is what you need to hear.
So much energy.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, man. Fred, stop, dog.
we gonna start it off because the name of this show is The Prime Effect. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fellas, everybody know Coach Prime been in the news. We done seen all the YouTube clips all over everywhere. He's on
Reaction Sports. Check us out on Reaction Sports.
all that good stuff. So, do you think Coach Prime and his 2-0 Colorado Buffs
3-0
Oregon this week? I mean 3-0, my fault.
I'm gonna take this off because before Fred put us to sleep, I'm gonna wake us up. All right,
go ahead,
Coach. I was doubting. Fred made me look at it a different way. Why in the heck am I gonna doubt Coach Prime? I believe because I believe he is going to go into Oregon and win this game. The reason why I know this for a fact is because Travis Hunter is hurt. And I want to get into that a little bit later, but I don't want to steal all the airtime. That is just my opening salvo.
Fred, what you got for us, man?
Well, when you keep your energy under control, you can put out convincing arguments to people that can get them to rethink their original dumb opinions. So that's the first point I want to make. The second point I want to make is this is going to be a test, right? Because you don't have Travis Hunter, so you really are relying on the Coach Prime and a young Shedeur Sanders. So if they get it done this week, though, you have to start talking about what this team is capable of this season. So this is like a test for them. This game against Oregon.
Isn't every game a test?
I would say this, man. I would say this about Oregon and all that other stuff. Just like every other week. Oh man, I don't think Colorado got enough for them. Oh, they small up front. Oh man, this is and that. Everything is looking bad for them, and they always find a way to win. And that is a testament of a true champion, is always finding different ways to win. They've been put in all types of situations. They have to come back, overtime, even without their best player, so-called quote-unquote best player. I don't think he's the best player, but the quote-unquote best player. So all I got to say is I believe, and I hope they go up there in Oregon and whoop the green off the Ducks and do what they do best, man.
Roscoe, I want to step in and ask you this question because this is in the news.
Okay.
Was the hit on Travis Hunter a dirty play?
All right. Okay. Let's preface this a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna say that because I did play football, and
long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Back when they wore leather helmets.
Yeah, no, Miles is clever. I wasn't that fortunate. It was clever with little suede sideburns. Anyway, so when I played defense, our coach used to tell us, "Hey man, you going out there, you head hunting." We used to get rewarded for trying to knock somebody out. Like that was our main goal, was to try to get their best player out of the game. Because if you get the best player out of the game, that makes their game plan go to poop. And that makes us, a little bit more easy, for us to go out there and do our thing. So, was it a dirty play? No, I don't think it's a dirty play because it's still football. And at the end of the day, you always keep your head on the swivel. You got to be prepared for anything because anybody's out there at any given time trying to knock your head off. So you can't fall asleep.
Roscoe basically said any given Saturday in this situation.
Any given Saturday, man.
Fred, what do you think? Was it a dirty play?
It felt a little dirty to me. I mean, I felt like he was kind of pulling up there. That hit came kind of late. It wasn't like a bang, bang play. It was a bang, bang play. So, within that space between the bangs, you have a chance to not really make that hit. or at least to try to not inflict as much damage as you can on the sideline to a vulnerable receiver like that. But I mean, he did it, and now I guess there's people with a lot to say to him and his people about it. I guess he's getting some threats, and life maybe isn't so easy for that guy right now. And he took out one of the most exciting players in the game right now.
Well, I just want to say the space between Fred's two bang was about the size of a 2-pump mocha latte, right? Because it was that.
Whoa, I thought you were about to go left.
He's getting death threats, and I don't think that's right. I'm gonna throw that out there.
But I said before to somebody else, is that Travis Hunter is, he don't have a lot of bricks in his pocket. That means he's a frail young man.
Yeah.
So any exposed hit could be his last. And by him being so underweight, I think that had a lot to do with it too. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was anybody else of, regular stature or whatever, I don't think that it would tore up his liver, stuff like that. I mean, that's unfortunate that happened, but it was going to happen. Somebody was going to do that to him. Somebody was going to try to knock his head off to get him out the game. And that is just how things go, man. Like I say, you got to be prepared. And to go back on the Oregon thing, everybody's talking about, oh man, it's tough to beat Oregon, but Oregon beat Portland State, Texas Tech, and Hawaii. It's not like they, whooping the world. What have they done to show and prove everybody that they supposed to be talked about like this here? Like they just.
I think it goes back to quarterback play. Bo Nix has a lot of hype. Oregon over the last few years have had top 15 recruiting classes and all that stuff. But I kind of do land with where you're landing. I don't buy into Oregon, but we just got to admit Outson Stadium is a tough place to go to and get a win. I mean, I think that's real.
It's hype. Like you said, it's hype, dude.
How do you know the name of the Oregon football stadium, Mr. Opinion?
Oh, my. It's a commonly known stadium. Roscoe know the name. Everybody know the name.
I know the name. Come on,
it's in a whole different time zone. It's like that stadium's in the past or something. I didn't even realize that that it had a name. I just thought it was where the Oregon Ducks played football.
Outson Stadium.
I thought that was its name, where the Oregon Ducks play football.
Hey, Fred, they had this thing called Google now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know we were doing show prep. He just had it ready. He had it ready to go. That's why I was wondering, did he prepare for this or what happened?
Well, anyway,
I'm always prepared, baby. Just for you. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, stay with us. We're going to be doing this all day long. Let's transition to some games of the week. And I want to hear your predictions. I'm going to run off some games, and I just want some quick fire predictions. Or if you have a one-sentence sentence, give it to me, and let's keep going. Quick fire. All right. Florida State, Clemson. What's your prediction? Let's go with Fred.
That's easy. That's Florida State.
Roscoe?
Florida State, baby.
All right. So battle of 2 3-0 teams. Rutgers versus Michigan.
Oh, my God. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Rutgers.
All right, here we go. What you got, Fred?
I'm just going to go back to forgetting that there was even a such thing as a Rutgers football team and just imagine that Michigan's going to win this game.
All right. I want predictions for number 10 Oregon, versus number 19 Colorado. Let's get predictions. Let's go, Roscoe.
I'm going Colorado, man.
Score prediction?
The score is going to be ridiculously high, but it might be 60-61 or some crap like that. But
that's some Pac-12 scores.
Yeah, that is a Pac-12. Like everybody's talking about defense, this defense. They've never played defense in the Pac-12. 63-65, Colorado.
What you got, Fred?
I think I am going to go 49-38. Colorado. We obviously know I can't go against Dion. I'm the one who convinced you. I'm the one who won you over to the Coach Prime bandwagon.
Yeah, you did. I was on there anyways, but not in this way. All right, so let's keep going. Ole Miss versus Alabama. Alabama's going back to their starting quarterback, Jalen Milroe, in this game. Ole Miss is 3-0 versus Alabama. What say you, Fred?
This is a tough one. I think I'm going to have to take Ole Miss. I mean, unless no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go Alabama. I caught myself. I can't bet against Coach Saban either. I know they look rough. They look rough against that Fort Myers College or whoever it was that they played last week. So I'm gonna. I think that Coach Saban's going to be able to get things turned around, and they're gonna probably make a statement against Ole Miss.
What you got, Roscoe?
I would say this, man. Alabama is looking very pedestrian right now, man. And the shine is off. It is time to regroup. And I think they're gonna get waxed, man. I think Ole Miss is got something to prove. And Alabama's their time is up, man. It's time for changing of the guard. So Ole Miss.
All right, Alabama's gonna roll this game with Jalen Milroe at quarterback. It's gonna be 36-8.
Wow, you're predicting a safety.
36-8.
All right, so we got a couple more games I want to get to before we move on to the next topic. UCLA 3-0, another Pac-12 banger, ranked 22nd versus number 11 Utah 3-0. Utah is the two-time defending Pac-12 champion. What say you? Let's go with you, Roscoe.
I will go with Utah because Utah has proven that they can whoop any and everybody. Even go down to the SEC and whoop Florida. So I'm going with Utah, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm going to go with Utah because I think if you can beat Florida, you can definitely beat UCLA. That's the way I look at it. I don't care what the rankings are.
All right, so we have two more games left in this prediction segment today. We have 3-0 Ohio State, ranked 6th in the nation, versus 4-0 Notre Dame, 9th in the nation. Their quarterback, man, I just want to blank on this quarterback's name. Minstrom Cycle, I don't know. But
wow.
I forgot his name.
Wow.
Quarterback name is that?
Very disrespectful.
But let's go with you, Fred. What say you on this prediction really quick?
I'm actually going to root for a tie in this game because I don't really care about either one of these teams. I wish they could both lose, but since that can't happen, the next best thing is a tie.
Yeah, I really can't root for Notre Dame, not ever. So whoever they playing against, I'm going for them. It don't matter who it is.
All right, the quarterback name is Sam Hartman, Heisman Trophy candidate.
I wasn't even anywhere near the name you assigned him.
You messed that up, man.
I couldn't think of it. I went blank on it. We should go Penn State, Iowa, but we're going to skip that. That's a battle of 2-3-0 teams. Missouri, Memphis, 2-3-0 teams. But let's get to the most important game of this weekend, Rice versus South Florida.
Oh, my God.
Well,
look, we go to the next one.
This is my opinion on Rice versus South Florida, man. It goes great with beans. And if you make a nice little protein with it, man, make sure you marinate it right. And some people don't even like beans with it, put a little butter, and old school style. But I like rice. I like rice and beans, man, in South Florida.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
All right, y'all. Those are our picks. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I don't know how I jumped on the A mic all of a sudden. Maybe just to talk about USF. But
that's all you wanted to do. That's fine.
He took control so he could put some irrelevant football team into our conversation.
Yeah, like nobody wanted to talk about beans and rice in South Florida, but hey, it is what it is.
I did.
I know you did, and it shows. And it shows that you want to talk about it. So speaking of stuff everybody else want to talk about, let's get into some NFL action, fellas. How about that?
I don't even know how to make the NFL thing.
Wow. All right. Something wrong, Mr. Opinion. So Fred,
the energy, man. His energy's too high. It's all off.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you, Fred. So your fish, I don't want to disrespect them, the Dolphins, man.
Yeah, put respect.
They are 2-0 and they are looking great, brother. Like, give me a reason why they're doing what they do without being biased.
Well, I mean, they have a healthy Tua. That's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. They've got more speed than anyone could possibly know what to do with on offense.
Oh my God! You went like 2 seconds without being biased and just lost it.
And the defense looks, much improved from last year. Also, the offensive line, I don't want to forget about them. They look a lot better than they did at any point last year. So, I mean, look, in my complete unbiased opinion, this is the Super Bowl favorite So, you know, the Miami Dolphins jump on the bandwagon now. We are always accepting new fans. I won't even ask you any questions about, you know, what team's bandwagon you jumped off of to get on ours.
Okay. Oh, so Mr. Opinion, the Bucks are 2-0. You predicted this like months ago. So please tell me why you think they're 2-0 and what are you looking forward to, Bob?
One of the big things I think a lot of people have forgotten about, there's a lot of Super Bowl winners on that team. And they've, over the last few years as a group, they've went pretty deep into the playoffs. So I think infusing a lot of good young talent with this veteran crew gives them, and it's not even the old veteran crew, right? It's a veteran crew that's just getting into their prime with Winfield, with Devin White, with Tristan Wirth. So Godwin, a lot of really good, talented players. So it only takes a quarterback not to screw it up. And, you know, I believe in Mayfield to be with a young, talented, hungry group to kind of not screw it up. So I just kind of had a lot of heavy faith in that from jump. And for the first time versus last year versus this year, the head coach actually has his team to put together. So I know there was a lot of predictions about them being the worst team in the NFL, like literally the worst team. A lot of the rankings even have them as the lowest ranked undefeated team in football after week 2. But, you know, the game versus Philadelphia will say a lot this week. So
that is going to be a big game, man. I'm looking forward to those games. And I am looking forward to the Dolphins doing what they do, man. I'm happy that your teams are winning and y'all are feeling good because y'all are bringing that good positive energy to the podcast, man. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? I applaud all that good stuff. But we all know who the real team is. You know
let's get to the getting.
We already know who the real team is, man. These boys been on the roads for the first 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? They whooped up on Denver. They, you know what I'm saying? They took an L in Buffalo because, man, who cares about Buffalo? It smells funny. So they're going back home to Vegas, baby. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to give Steelers what they want. You know what I'm saying? The Browns almost had them on the ropes last night, but we're going to give the Steelers what they want, man. So look out for the Raiders. They are on the up because everybody predicted them to not even win but 2 games like prime time. So I believe. That's my prediction for the Raiders, baby.
Just a quick scoring update from their last game. They lost 38-10 to the Buffalo Bills, the team that you don't care about. So I just wanted to let you know, you're coming back to Las Vegas, but you are coming off of a 38-10 loss, and we don't know what that's like in Miami.
And they got W's and L's in the columns. They don't have lost by this many or that many, as you clearly know. So
you're right, and they did manage to score 17 whole points against the Denver Broncos.
All that score up. Real tight, turn it sideways, and you know what to do with it.
Shout out to The Rock.
all day. So another thing about the NFL, man, it's I think we talked about this, I think a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about the running backs not getting paid, you know what I'm saying, not getting no respect. And now they're just falling off, man. Like they're just getting hurt left and right. And it's making the league look like they're right about not wanting to pay them big money. So what's y'all opinion on these running backs getting hurt without having no deals, man?
I think it's one of those things too, where when you talk about leverage, you know what I mean? Like as a running back coming to the league, you just know if you start balling out, you got to start saving your money, getting ready for a holdout. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like off rip, you got to live like, I got to hold out because they're not going to try to pay you, and you have to leverage not playing to get the deal that you get and be willing to sit out the whole year. I'm just going to, leave that playing right there. I just think, if you play and you don't have any leverage, or let me say this, I hope they took out huge insurance policies on themselves. Let me just say that.
All right, Fred, what you got on that, man?
I mean, we talked about it on here before. It's a tough time to be a running back. So, you see this, and this really just further underscores that. I also think too, when you look at kind of the pool of free agents that were out there until late, coming into the preseason and even through some of preseason, maybe even still now, I think that whole idea that these guys aren't getting these big deals, you're seeing a lot of talented running backs that you could pick up a few weeks into the season if you needed to, which isn't really helping protect any of these guys who are out there playing without a long-term deal. So it's a tough time to be a running back. And I think this is unfortunate. It doesn't look good for the NFL, but it is what it is, man. I mean, this is kind of the way the game has, this has been coming for a long time. This type of approach to handling star running backs has been, it's been developing over a long time.
So, and I agree with y'all boys, man. It's unfortunate. It sounds like we talking about a funeral or something.
Sure, I'm sure they feel that way.
Yeah, but we know some young footballers out there, man, that's playing running back, that's trying to get their name established. In high school and Little League, we do know a high school out there. Shout out Running Football. That's
shout out Thai football.
And Thai football, we trying to get out there and running the rock, man, because everybody knows as a kid that was the premier position. And even in the league, they still need a running back or a good running game, period, in order to be successful. Like the Dolphins have a good running game. That's why they're 2-0. The Bucks had a good running game. That's why they're 2-0. You know what I'm saying? That it goes, without saying that you need good running backs. And the guys that are trying to get all this big money, the big name backs, they stayed hurt since they got into the league.
And you brought up a good point too. The Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, Mostert is 31 years old, 30 years old. Mm-hmm. I think so. He's 30 or 31. I think when you look at someone like him, this is someone he's been in backfields where he shared carries with other running backs. So you have to wonder, about the wear and tear on his body versus when you see these guys, Dalvin Cooks and the people like that, and Ezekiel Elliott's who go out and try to get these long-term deals and then find themselves, on the outside looking in. I think some of that could have something to do with it too. I mean, you look at Mostert and you don't look at that guy and think, oh, this looks like a 31-year-old running back. That's probably because he hasn't been taking as many hits throughout his career as some of these guys who have been carrying the ball so much for their teams.
I would also say this. I would also say this about the running back position. The same thing I said about Travis Hunter. Like, today's player is built different because linemen hit all day, every day. You never seen the old lineman take himself out the game because he got tired or something like that, because that's unheard of. But all these running backs are very brittle. Anytime you hit them, you know what I'm saying, they falling apart or they running out of bounds. I can't tell you the last time I saw a running back run through somebody or truck somebody. Can y'all attest to that?
I can.
Derrick Henry does it a lot.
Okay, but Derrick Henry is 7 foot tall, 300 pounds, right?
I mean, yeah, he's a freak of nature.
So, I'm talking about this. The average running back back in the day, the average running back, you saw a highlight of him running through somebody's chest, right?
Yeah.
They attacked. They basically dished out the punishment. Like Walter Payton dished out the punishment. He didn't accept people coming to hit him, which made it difficult for him to tackle. Jim Brown and all them cats like that. Tony Dorsett. I know y'all forgot about Tony, but Tony Dorsett was that guy too. And Eric Dickerson, he'll run by you, but he showed up run through you too. So I think that the style that they run at right now is more like a slash and cut style instead of a 3 yards in the cloud of dust style.
Mm-hmm. So that think about the zone runs. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean by slash
football.
Say it again.
No, I'm just saying with the zone run, you're not lined up playing power football. You're running zone, looking to cut back, looking to slash through.
And that has wear and tear on your ligaments and your joints and your muscles, man. All that cutting.
Yeah, and injury-wise, it probably leaves a different part of your body exposed to injury more often than if you're initiating the contact, if I had to guess.
Fred, that's literally what he just said.
Thanks for being here, Fred, for the podcast. Welcome back to the Prime Effect, baby.
I feel like we were saying two different things.
Fred just showed up, man. Everybody clap it up for Fred, baby. Yeah.
I feel like we were saying two different things, and my comments are being deliberately misinterpreted for comedy. That's all I'm saying. I don't appreciate it, but it's fine.
But no, man. Hey, look, like I said, man, leave your comment. What you think about the running back situation? Hey, welcome Fred back to the show, man. Thanks for being here, Fred.
Hey, did you guys know we're doing it? Did you know we're doing a show tonight? We're doing a show right now. Did you guys know that?
Before you get to the next point, I really want to push back on something. When you said the idea of needing a running game, I don't know if you necessarily need a run game in modern football because there's so many ways to produce a run game without actually running the ball with, all the slip screens and the different ways they use to do extended handoffs that aren't really handoffs, right? But I would say you just have to be efficient in doing whatever you're doing.
Okay. And I hear you. And I saw a clip earlier today of the Chicago Bears ran the same slip screen 3 times in a row.
And got 6 yards.
Not successful at all.
He got 6 yards.
Do you understand? 3 times in a row. That's them trying to, create a run game. Like, you shouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? The run game is there. It's been since the beginning of football. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the first play was the run play.
Yeah, the first play.
Yeah. So, like, why are you trying to reinvent the run game when it's there already?
Well, because these people get paid a lot of money, though.
And that's crazy. And they shouldn't if they're doing that type of stuff there. If that's the case, then I should let my son call the plays. He can accidentally score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that frustrates me to death when people try to, outthink themselves. That's all that's doing right there, man.
Roscoe, and to pivot away from this conversation, I think you landed on a good point, especially about it being the first play. I want to pull a Fred right now. Just reiterate the same thing you just said. Hopefully that gives us a few more subscribers. But with that being aside, who is the best quarterback wide receiver combination in the league in the NFL after a couple games? So I contend that it is Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuels right now.
And why do you say that? Why do you say that's the best combo?
The reason why I say that is they just seem to have a chemistry together in terms of when they look for it. Well, Purdy looks for Deebo Samuels when he needs that big play. And, sometimes in situations, for example, like I think about week 1 and Mayfield and Evans not really being looked for at all in those key situations. And I think quarterbacks and wide receivers fall into that trap sometimes. But I think with San Francisco, Purdy knows where his bread is buttered and he goes to it.
Okay.
And I think there's power in that. And he delivers a nice catchable ball. I just want to say that too.
Fred, I already know what you're going to say.
Might I interest you in a Tua Tyreek Hill tandem? Because they look like the best quarterback and receiver in my mind. And, just a little insider information. Roscoe has Tyreek Hill on his fantasy football team.
Yes,
so that should let you know right there, even in his steadfast commitment to refuse to give the Dolphins their props, he employs one of their players on his fantasy football team. So, it's undeniable.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you know that there's someone who can get him the ball, and you know that he's going to have good games, and he's got, he's got 3 touchdowns already. He's, he's doing a lot of things for the Miami Dolphins, and that's because of Tua.
Well, I would say this, and I hate saying this. I do think that Tua and Hill is a great combo. Brock Purdy, Mr. P, I love me some Bartholomew. Mm-hmm. But the combo is the combo for a reason, and that is a reason why they keep winning. It hurts me to my heart to say Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey are the best combo in football. Like, hands down, they are the best. It's like Brady and Gronk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows he's getting the ball, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, accept it.
Yeah.
So, and I have to see these dudes for the next 10 years, and it hurts my heart to death. But I would say that is the best combination of quarterback / tight end receiver tandem that's in the NFL.
Well, you broadened the scope because the original question was receiver, and it sounds like just to avoid giving Miami Dolphins players their correct credit, you broadened it to include tight ends. So really, the actual answer is Tua and Tyreek.
But he's a pass catching tight end, so they get paid like receivers now, dude.
I think this is a great point. I just want to add, looking to the future, I'm interested to see how the Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts combination develops this year. I'm not ready to put it up there just yet, but I'm interested to see how that develops. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So now we've been talking about all these good teams and stuff, man. So out of all the 2-0 teams that's in the NFL, who do y'all think is the best 2-0 team right now?
Now, I think my answer is already known, so let's go ahead and go to Mr. Opinion.
Without your unbiased opinion, you really think that Miami's the best?
I told you that the Miami Dolphins are a Super Bowl favorite team right now. So to me, the Miami Dolphins are the best team in the league. They're also 2-0, so they fit all the criteria for answering this question.
Well, I really wasn't going to go to you, but since you chimed in, I appreciate your answer. So, Mr. Opinion, who do you think is the best? Without being, oh goodness, I forgot who I was talking to. Well, anyway, go ahead, man, Mr. Opinion.
Well, I'm known for my unbiased takes.
That is a lie, but go ahead.
So I want to lead there. But I do want to say there's two divisions in the NFC that have three teams that are 2-0. That is the NFC East with the Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders, and also the NFC South with the Falcons, Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are started the year 2-0, right? Mm-hmm. I say that to say I think of that group, the number one team is still the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're the de facto, not real Super Bowl champions from last year. I think they got screwed out of their opportunity to win. Mm-hmm. But I still think the Eagles have the best team. And I think DeAndre Swift is a significant upgrade at the running back position. And their defense, man, they look so dominant. And if I had to say number two, it would probably be unbiasedly, it'd probably be the Cowboys. They looking good.
Okay. All right. I was going back and forth between the Cowboys and my second team. Like they say, the Cowboys look good, and they always look good at some point in the season. But, their offense is still not hitting like it's supposed to, with that and CD and, they have the ups and downs. But the number one team to me is the 49ers, man. They are consistent. We already know what they can do when Brock Purdy's back there. It's a proven fact when Brock Purdy's in the game, they win it.
Yeah.
The only time they did lose last year when he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
But now Brock Purdy's back, and they're still doing their thing, quietly whooping everybody. Still got one of the top defenses in the game. Still got one of the top offenses in the game, man. So I would say that the 49ers 2-0 is a legitimate 2-0, and they're going to be a problem for everybody else in the league.
I think that is a fair opinion. I think they have, if you had to say, well, what team has looked the most dominant, not counting the Giants wet in the bed? Because, that point differential in that game, I think isn't necessarily a fair indication of where the league is or even where the Giants is, to tell you the truth. Yeah. They didn't show up week one. But when you talk about just being consistent over the last two games, I think it's definitely the San Francisco 49ers. So I think that's a good shout.
Okay. All
right. So let's push forward. Big news. We've been on the Rays bandwagon all year long. They qualified for the playoffs. It's looked like they're 2 games out of first place. The Baltimore Orioles went on a crazy tear to go catch them, which is wild considering how good of a start the Rays had. But you know what? We're in the playoffs, so job bless, right?
All day.
You win it. That's the only way you can win it, is be in it.
Be in it.
All right. So, but the Rays have sent the proposal. It looks like it's days within sign. I think they just signed a few hours ago, where they're going to build a stadium in St. Petersburg. Their argument is they're going to have 86 acres in downtown St. Pete that they're going to own. And they're thinking with that 86 acres, with the idea of them building a whole entertainment district with housing, that they're just going to build a housing where their fans can just go to this, can just be there because they live right next door.
They're going to build a duplex.
Yeah, they're going to build
one duplex.
Hey, that's gonna be part of their rent. Like, look, you get tickets to the Rays game.
Yeah, that's just what Atlanta did. That's what
to live in it. You're required to attend 80% of the home games. You have to attend.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you guys think about that? Let's start with you, Fred. It seems like you've been quiet for a while as he was called out only stealing takes. So I'm gonna give you a chance to be original.
I just think that it's it's great knowing they're going to keep baseball in the Tampa Bay area. I think it's unfortunate they couldn't find a way to move them to Hillsborough County or the Tampa side of the Bay. I don't foresee how playing baseball in St. Pete is going to get the kind of numbers that they need to get the attendance that they want to get. This feels weird to me. But I also think, again, this is more about staying in the area and less about maybe what's in the best long term for the team as far as attendance and everything is concerned. The designs, I saw a couple renderings of these designs for this new stadium and the surrounding neighborhood or whatever you want to call it. It is nice. I mean, so it's, this is going to be a nice looking thing. I guess it's like some sort of 20-year proposal. Like they're planning on having all this done sometime over a 20-year span. But I also just think that you're not going to get the kind of attendance that you need whenever you keep them in Pinellas County. People have to drive across the bay to get there. If they're in Tampa, that gives you a greater opportunity to get people from Lakeland, Orlando, other places that are, further inland. But this seems to be the best that could happen in this situation.
Roscoe?
Well, I will say this, man. The rendering looks nice. Everybody looks like they're having a good time. I mean, going to a baseball game in St. Peter, it's cool, but it's not an experience. If you know what I mean, like you know how you go to a game, it's an experience, the surroundings, the tailgate, and all that good fun stuff. But like for me myself personally, I stay in this area, and I very rarely say, "Hey, man, I'm finna go to a Rays game." Because I don't think about St. Pete like that because it's St. Pete. That's what the cheap medicine is. So it doesn't make sense. They should have put it in Tampa
and Ybor.
Ybor City, that would have been the best spot for it because you already have the nightlife, you already have housing there, and it's centrally located. Like you say, you can get people from Lakeland, Plant City, all the way down to Bartow and Lakewood. You know what I'm saying? All the middle of the state come. Even people from Orlando will probably come to Tampa because it's right there. But nobody's going to St. Pete. They're just going to have a brand new big apartment building and forcing the residents to go watch the Rays play. I mean, they're not a bad team to watch, but I don't want to pay rent to watch the Rays play, you know what I'm saying, on purpose. So that's just my opinion on that, man.
No, I appreciate both your takes. I think both of your takes have a lot of validity, and a lot of people are scratching their heads, including myself, with them deciding to stay in St. Pete. But I think they're betting on themselves being centrally located and down in a downtown area and to build it. I think they would have preferred Ybor City if they would have been able to find the right location that made the most sense, because you don't have to build Ybor City. The nightlife is there, right?
Yeah. But the stadium now is already in downtown St. Pete. That's the crazy thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but I think that's why I left this image right up here, right? This is what they're betting on. If they feel if they build a complex in which not just for the baseball, but actually for people to like a gentrification process, right? Because we all know the area around the stadium used to be, I
mean, it like how they have it around the stadium now. Like it's built up. They got condos. It's a nice area to hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where the projects used to be, now is Ferg's, big bar and grill. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of stuff to do. I'm not saying St. Pete don't have nothing to do there. It's St. Pete. Like.
That you mention it, there's a stunning lack of diversity in this rendering. that I'm looking at on the screen.
I don't see nobody in there that looks like me saying, "Hey, man, I'm going to a ball game." You know what I'm saying?
Look at the arrow. Look at this guy. There you go. Right
Oh,
there.
that's
No,
me.
I mean-
Hey, look at that. I'm there.
In the nosebleeds.
Hey,
That ticket was $150 right there, maybe even more.
and I was about to say the price of the ticket's gonna go up, man. But
30,000 seat stadium or thereabouts.
and
Oh
and,
my
it, and
God.
it, another dome. Like you are in the Sunshine State, and you are building a dome. Like you should at least have a retractable roof or something.
No, that's too hot. It's too hot in the summer in Central Florida to play baseball outside.
Here's what I'm saying: if Dolphin Stadium, and it's called Dolphin Stadium or Hard Rock Stadium, they built
Hard
that
Rock
roof
Stadium,
over
you
the
know.
stadium, right?
Yeah.
And it keeps the fans out of the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's 2023. You mean to tell me we got Chat GPT and all this AI? We don't know how to build a retractable roof without keeping everybody cool? That's a
Hey,
lot.
I could put it in the chat GPT if they really
Yeah,
need
so
to figure it out.
you know the dome baseball in Florida is very weird to me. It feels like I'm up north somewhere, but you know. Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you did just say you don't go to the game. So, like, speaking as someone who's not sitting outside, I went to a minor league baseball game when I was in Florida, and I almost melted. So I can't imagine sitting outside and watching
That's
baseball.
because you're
on
a
regular
mountain
basis.
boy now. You know what I'm saying? You used to thin air in cold weather.
That sun is hot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the sun. Hey, before we exit out this topic, I think you guys have been really spot on. I just want to say for the record, I was low-key hoping that they wouldn't build this and that they would move to Montreal. I'm gonna throw it out.
Ooh, I wonder why.
No, thanks.
I'm
I
gonna throw
wonder
it
why you
out.
want to go to Montreal.
I was low-key hoping that this wasn't gonna happen. It was gonna fall apart, and the Rays was gonna be the
In
Montreal.
other words, you a hater. You know what, man? I'm glad it's in St. Pete night. Yay, there we go Rays. Yay.
Go St. Pete.
Love St. Pete. Yes, perfect spot.
All right, so let's close out. This has been a spectacular episode, but don't log off just yet. Take this time to hit the subscribe button and to leave a comment because we're going to go into our final segment, things that only matter to us.
Yes.
Here we go. All right, so since Fred had an opportunity last time to come up with an original take, it kind of failed. No, I'm just joking, Fred.
Slander. I'm getting slandered. You guys see it.
No,
I hope you're listening.
I take it back.
I hope you're all listening and you see what I have to deal with.
You heavy, Fred. You heavy.
He is.
I take it back. All
I
right,
think
Fred.
he's threatened because I came onto Reaction Sports and dropped just fire takes about Coach Prime. So maybe that's what it is.
That's what it was, man.
Nah, you had some good takes on that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Make it sound fly to you. All right. But let's get to it, man. Fellas, time. Tick-tock, tickety-tock.
So, well, this is what matters. This is that what matters to me. I know I haven't been on here in a while, and I did go up to Denver, like I said before, and experience the Coach Prime experience, man. And it was great. It was grand. The atmosphere was awesome. Just like the stadium itself is a beautiful place because it got the mountains in the backdrop. It was nice and chill, and everybody loved Coach Prime. You hear what I'm saying? It was more people that looked like me around that place than I've ever seen on any type of TV show about Colorado or Denver. So that was a beautiful thing, man. And going to see the Raiders kick butt, that was awesome. So that's the only thing. And it's my son's birthday today, so shout out to Big Ty, the podcast boys in the building. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Happy birthday, Ty. Happy birthday.
He gonna tell you all about his birthday experience, man. So those are the things that I care about.
Hey, leave a link to the podcast boys below. Make sure you check them out. You know what I mean? Fire takes, fire podcast. For you, for the kids, for everybody. It's pretty
everybody, man.
Roscoe's for the kids.
So, Fred, what you care about, man?
Right now we're experiencing this thing here where the weather's starting to change. It's starting to become fall. Finally, all the humidity is gone. People are breaking out hoodies. You can, not sweat in the middle of the day. That's kind of nice. The flip side, and you guys probably know where I'm going with this, this is the time when, when the bears are out and they're out and they're looking for trash and they're looking for food, and you got to check around every corner when you take your dog out to use the bathroom. It's really inconvenient, but the weather's great. So I guess I'll just have to keep my head on a swivel and try to avoid the bears while enjoying the cooler weather. But definitely fall in the mountains is the time to be here. The leaves will be changing in a little while. It'll be a whole beautiful scene. And Roscoe will be down in Florida dreaming about watching baseball in the summer in an uncovered stadium. So
all day, baby.
Better weather, fall, maybe some pumpkin spice stuff, maybe some darker beers, things like that. Those are things that matter to me right now as the weather's cooling down.
Wow.
Man, it's so funny you say that. I literally just took a picture of a leaf because it's changing colors already, because it's pretty much fall almost. One of the things that I do want to say that matters to me and only me is that my wife has finished the PCT hike.
Nice.
Wow.
6 months sojourn from March to September, going from Mexico to Canada on foot, which is insane.
That is insane, bro.
Props.
So
yeah, man. Just
back
really an
home
amazing
yet?
experience. What's that?
Is she back home? Or?
No, she'll be back home on Friday.
Okay.
Word on the street is she needed a little bit more time away from Mr. Opinion, so she's going to walk from California over to the East Coast.
I fully listen. She's married to me, so I can accept the fact that she needed some time.
She needed some space. She needed to clear her thoughts a little bit, so she decided to walk from Mexico to Canada.
She needed a couple more months.
Yeah, well, I'm not the easiest person in the world. So they say.
But
they
I don't think so, Mr. Opinion.
They do say it.
But thank y'all for joining us on this episode of Fourth in the Game. Fellas, what you got to say? Episode 37, I think.
Hey, man, look, it's been beautiful, man. I'm glad we back at it. I'm glad it's football season. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk, a whole bunch of trash to talk. And Fred, please wake up on the next one. I'm just messing with you, dog. But appreciate y'all boys, man. I'll holler at you.
Hey, now that it's football season, I've made a renewed commitment to make sure I watch more sports so I can be ready for the podcast. I watched 3 whole football games on Sunday, 3 complete football games on Sunday. One of them was a Dolphins game, but the other 2 I did not care about at all. And I still watched them. And that's so I can bring you better takes, and then I don't have to, repeat other people's takes on the show in real time.
Nah, Fred, you crushed it today, man. It was just all in good fun, man. We appreciate you back on the podcast. Appreciate y'all for joining us. Don't forget to join us in next week. Watch the games. Let us know your take. We're going to be here all week long. All year long. That too. All right, catch y'all on the flip. Peace. In the stream, but don't hang up, Fred.